You see this app here? It's the new Brawl Stars. And today we're going to download this new Brawl Stars and try everything out in advance to show you all the new features and so you can really see what it looks like. Because you had a lot of questions during the Brawl Talk, of course we explain things, we see the new features, but what is it really like in the game? Well, that's exactly what we're here to answer. First, I hope you're well. I just returned from Paris, haven't eaten, and I'm making this video for you now. I hope everything is clear. Of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, but I think there will also be a video tomorrow morning to clarify even more topics, in addition to the video tomorrow evening where we'll probably introduce a brawler. We're going to talk a bit about all the topics, the catalog, bling, hypercharges, seasons, balancing, and so on. We're going to talk about a lot of things, but you'll understand that we can't cover everything, otherwise the video would last an extremely long time. So there you go, I hope you're doing well, I hope you're feeling great as always. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and use code PERIADO. Thanks so much to everyone who does. Obviously, make sure to subscribe, it's super important, and there are a lot of you who aren't subscribed, so I'm taking this opportunity. Subscribe, and let's get started right away. So, here we are on Brawl Stars. Just so you know, on my Brawl Stars account, I've barely unlocked anything on purpose so that you can understand everything from scratch. So I only have Shelly, and you'll see, it's like having a new account with all the offers. I think the thing that interests you the most, so as you can see, we have the wallpaper, which is about Damien's season, but what we're really going to look at is the shop. That might be the thing that interests you the most, so let's get started. We'll check all of that out. You can see we have 6 different tabs, so that's exactly how it works. There can be up to 7 tabs. For example, if I claim this free Buffies, you can see this is the offer everyone gets with the update. You might ask, when is the update? The update will technically take place on Tuesday, but be careful, nothing is set in stone, so it could change. You never know, it all depends on what's being implemented, etc. But logically, all updates usually happen on Tuesdays. Take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is certain yet, or I would have told you. We're going to pull all of this, but there will be a small change since I can get any Buffies, not just the latest ones. For example, I have Shelly's, one of the first Buffies. That's the change. We have the very first one, we have the second one with Bull, Crow, and BB, the third, the fourth, and now the 5th one that just appeared with the new Buffies, Edgar, Colette, and Griff. So now, it's not 1 free per machine anymore, no, it's just that you get 1 free each season, that's all you get. I also have this free one from an update, it's my first, since I wouldn't have unlocked any otherwise, but that's unrelated. Let's get back to the shop. So for example here, normally my offer is supposed to disappear since I don't have any more offers. Normally every time it disappears. It won't stay like this, otherwise, well, there's no point. As soon as there's nothing left, it disappears. My Hero Academia is interesting. We'll discuss the skins and prices later. There are no prices shown now, and it's not because they're in euros for these skins. So it will also be possible to buy them in euros, but actually, since we're on the developer account, there aren't prices for all the offers simply because it's a developer account. You can see what the resources look like. You'll also be able to buy gold, PowerPoints, things like that. All the offers will be personalized. Something that has changed and is really great is that the offers now have a description. For example, I click on Golden Week to see what it is. We can see contains 5,000 coins. Anyway, and then you have a little description. Same thing, if I go to the My Hero Academia skins, there's a little thing that's different, for example. We can select our skin and actually see the model. So here you can see the legendary skin, especially the one for El Costo. You can see everything that's included. We have the one for Fang, which is epic, and so on and so on. We'll discuss it again afterward. No worries. There will also be a skin tier list where I tested all the skins, so we'll see their effects. That's important. But anyway, all this is to say that there's really a description for everything happening in Brawl Stars. Now, there's a description, and that's really a good thing. What interests you, at least I think so, is the oddities shop. That's the shop where we can spend our famous blinks. So these are things that are free. Very important thing, all the offers are personalized and they renew every 24 hours. That means no one will have the same offer. If you have a free ESC in the shop, it doesn't mean your friend will too. Only you get it unless you're both lucky and get a free skin, but that's another matter. Let's go to the shop. You can see, you watch, Juju judges, and the lines change as you come and go. It's a waste of time. We see different dialogues, and now she isn't happy. It's interactive and funny. Everything is sold out, and there are no offers. So we're going to try something. I think that's because I only have 1 brawler. I'll unlock all the brawlers but won't upgrade them to power 11. I want to see if unlocking a brawler leads to more offers, especially related to skins. At least this way you'll know. If you have no brawlers, will you get offers? You never know. Unfortunately, I've unlocked all the brawlers and, well, I don't have the skin for all the brawlers. And you can see that, unfortunately, we can't buy them anymore. You can't find them like that anymore. They're not in the shop either. So where do you find them? The famous catalog is what makes things interesting. For example, if I go to Nita, you can see my catalog and access all the skins, but the items are no longer for sale. But you can see, at least it lets you see a bit, well, how far along you are with the skin, for example, for a character like Rico. Anyway, that's how it works. You can see the changes. It's mainly to show you. Unfortunately, I can't show you the catalog, but we'll have offers for the skins as well that will be available. Either in the oddities shop right here, but as you can see, I can't see the offers, or there will be some directly here. They'll just be random offers, but as I told you, we don't have them. We're on a developer account, so we have some limitations. I can still show you a preview. Here's a short video, though I'm not controlling it. For example, check out the oddities shop. If you click on the new one, you'll get blinks offered like this. The blinks are just 10 each time you click. It's not much, but be careful, there will be other things. Here you can see it's really the clip from the Brawl Talk, but it gives you a better idea of the offers. We have an epic bundle with 2 epic skins and visible resources just like in the Brawl Talk. There are also other offers available as shown here under new. If you click on it, it will give you another 10 blinks. And we just have our usual discount like that. You have a few small examples. Unfortunately, I can't do much more. At least you can see what it looks like. I'm sorry, I'm not the one in control, but I think you understand. But at least you can see that yes, there are really several offers. You get a quick look at what it looks like without any cuts. There you go. The thing is, it's a bit simpler for you maybe to understand. Here, it's interesting because when he clicks, you can see there will be legendary. So you can get a legendary skin, which is cool. And if you click on legendary, you'll get a list of legendary skins to choose from. It's not random, and that's a very good thing. Same for mythic, it's a list of skins you can get. And as we can see, yes, you can get mythic skins for free, but here, you need to be very lucky. You can see, for example, Jesse Scotty for free and with a mega box. That's a pretty big deal too. You can get it completely for free. That still depends on your offers and luck. I can't do more since my shop is bugged, like most creators. Even those presenting Brawl Talk have bugs. I'll show you once it's fixed. I'll try to remember. When it's unlocked, we'll make a video to explain more, but for now, it's complicated. I think you've seen the shop changes. That's the most interesting part. I did my best. Now, let's move on to something that might interest you. It's a brawler who just got a new hypercharge. This brawler is mythic, as you might have guessed. We're going to talk about Nagia. What exactly is her hypercharge? With her super, Nagia sends out 6 jars of snakes that leave trails of poison behind them. What I'm interested in knowing is the damage from this poison. That's especially why we're going to try her out, just to see how the damage is and so on. Just by looking at it like this, there are trails, but fortunately the poison doesn't last, mind you. But it's crazy. I think it's insane. Her hypercharge charges up pretty easily. Anyway, as soon as you use your super and your super hits thanks to the poison, it charges up pretty easily, I think. It's not complicated. Let's do it again like this. We'll throw our jars. There are 10 of them. 4,000 health is huge and the damage is still strong. Honestly, it's actually really strong, to be honest. So what we're going to do is just go into showdown against some bots like this, just to charge up our hypercharge and see exactly how it works. Okay, I've got my hypercharge. There's an Arcad who's been chasing me for a while now. Luckily, I was able to charge up a bit on him. Let's see what kind of damage it does. So here, you can see he's defending himself. Well, at least he's trying his best. I only have 1 power cube. And then, as for the trail, you can see the damage it does. It's about 800. And especially the brawler, well, I'm not sure if he got poisoned because he got hit by a snake. I think so. In my opinion, the trail itself doesn't poison you. At least that's what I think. But it does seem really strong. Honestly, this hypercharge is no joke. It's crazy. Nagia is already extremely strong. But now with her hypercharge, it's a whole different story. Alright, let's finish the game. At least we got a quick look at the hypercharge. In any case, maybe we'll do more tests later. But honestly, it's really strong. And since we're talking about really strong stuff, let's talk about Buffies. You can see everything has been completed properly. I even have the Buffies blinks every time. It's really the thing you shouldn't buy. Now the blinks are finally useful, but don't buy them. At least we can test Griff, Colette, and Edgar with their buffs. Colette's gadget, for example, has changed completely. Now, it's going to charm a brawler for 1 second. Back then, it wasn't like that at all. And with the Buffies, it's nice because now we have the description in green. We know what's been added. The projectile goes through obstacles and brawlers. And of course, it uses 1 ammo charge. So maybe the tricky part is that obviously you have to aim at the brawler. That means if I use it on the robot like this, it's going to be hypnotized for a little while. And then, it'll be able to follow me calmly. Honestly, pretty standard. What's powerful is you can go through walls. So if 2 or 3 brawlers follow each other, you can hit them all at once. It lasts for 1 second. It's not very long, but it can be very useful. A little tip. If you're in Brawl Ball, you have the ball, etc. You throw the ball, then you use your gadget. Well, there you go. The ball goes through. It's just like Ollie. And that's extremely strong. The other gadget is Health Grip. Here, there's something pretty good. It heals 80% of your HP, but be careful, it's based on the damage dealt. That means if you pick a brawler who doesn't have a lot of health, let's say someone with 4,000 HP. So here, you see, it does 1,560 damage. So you take 80% of 1,560. For that, it doesn't heal a lot. But if you pick a brawler with more health, for example, this one, you use it like this. There you go. It gives you 32,000. That's huge. And you can see that, so be careful. This buff here, you're overloaded. She only has 1,000, but that's because it's capped. You can see you only have 3 charges for this gadget. That means you can either use them right away like this, or use one and then another from time to time. You use it whenever you want. Here, it's really useful. But because of that, you only get 3. Now I only have 2 left. Now I only have 1 left. And there you can see another one. Careful, the shield isn't very useful. I think the buff is a bit disappointing. The Brawler is cool with this gadget, but without buffs, since buffs don't add much. The other star power, Push It, is honestly just very simple. Basically, it just pushes the Brawler. You get it. What's cool is that at maximum range, the Brawler gets stunned. That means, for example, if I catch them at the end like this, the Brawler will be stunned. Well, I just took them out right now. If I do it on him and catch him near the end like this, he'll be stunned for about 0.2 seconds, unable to attack or do anything. If I attack him with my Brawler like this, he won't be stunned unless you push him to the end, then he will be. The buffs don't really change much. It's just that the speed of the ultimate is much faster. That's all. So, it can be useful because at maximum range, he's stunned. At least you have its description. For those who don't understand everything, you can pause and read. The other one, I find even more overpowered. Colette takes 75% less damage during her super, so you have a shield that's really huge, and above all, you have a 30% shield for 3 seconds, and it steals 33% of the target's ammo if she hits a Brawler. If he attacks me, he deals 500 damage, but if I use my ultimate at the same time, it's only 125. Plus, I steal his ammo because of my buff. What's interesting here is that you can get a protection shield if you hit a Brawler. For example, here, I hit the Brawler, I get my shield like this, and I only take 360 damage instead of 500, because I have a 33% shield. That means you can do combos like this, and even after hitting Brawlers, you have your little shield, and you can take advantage of it, you can attack, etc. So, you can have your shield, not infinite, but you can stack it pretty well. Honestly, it's super useful, and it's really changed things. As for the Hypercharge, well, it's pretty simple. It's mainly about the attack. You use an attack like this, and you get a second shot that goes off. You see, it does 1000 damage. Honestly, it's really overpowered, and you can see it, especially on big Brawlers like this. It's not huge because you can see that the first shot did a lot of damage. The second one doesn't do as much. I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to recharge my super. At least you'll have the perfect example. So I activate my Hypercharge. I take a shot. The first one does a huge amount of damage. The other 18,300. So it does half as much damage each time, but it's still extremely strong. I think we can all agree on that. And obviously, since it's capped at 1000, you still do 1000 damage at the end. That's huge. With Colette, you've pretty much seen everything. At least you have an explanation for everything. What I think is cool is that you can see the Hypercharge lasts 7 seconds. For example, now we have a timer on the Hypercharge. I think that's really great. Now let's talk about Griff. You can see there's a lot of text about Griff. Anyway, regarding his gadget, well, back in the day, you had to place the gadget. Now you can throw it. And honestly, it has a pretty decent range. So I'll put it here, for example. You see, it takes a little time to explode. Actually, it takes a long time to break. But as long as it's placed, I want to say, you can't remove it. It's definitely going to break at some point. So if you want to open up walls, it's not that bad. And you can see that it explodes quite a lot. There was a big dash. On the other hand, what's cool with the buff is if I put my piggy bank like this and I shoot at my piggy bank, you can see I deal damage. It explodes more and they take 2,400 damage. Whereas for them, you see they have 2,400 health left. So it does 1,600 damage. If I deal damage to my piggy bank, it will do more damage than normal. And also the explosion radius will be a bit bigger. And yes, because it also charges up. That's why we have a huge text, because it explains the charging and so on. So what we're going to try to do is charge up this famous piggy bank so it deals as much damage as possible and is the best it can be. Here, I fully charged it and it exploded much faster this time. You get the idea. Purse is just a rain of coins. The damage is interesting. You throw coins wherever you want. I have the buffs here, so be careful. That means the rain of coins will get bigger as it goes on. But honestly, the area is still pretty interesting. In the end, it's not bad. And above all, you can see 2,000 damage. That means if you have a heist, safe, etc., you use your normal basic attacks like this, you spam your safe. And on top of that, you deal 2,000 damage for free. And since people, well, defend their safe and often, they cover the safe by putting their body in the way, you use this and, well, it's a bit tricky for them. They'll need to move off the safe and come towards you, and with a Griff, you can chain them. Basically, the Brawler is overpowered. The first star power also slightly widens my attack range. Careful, it's not huge, but it's just slightly wider, thanks to this star power. With the buff, you can see that I'll have just one big coin in the middle. Careful, that's only if my attacks are fully charged. Here, I don't have a big coin. Let's let our attacks charge up calmly. So now, I have all my attacks. There, I get a big coin. And so, if I just spam like this, it doesn't work. Everything really has to be fully charged. That's why you may need to wait to deal more damage. A big coin does 840 damage, but if you're close and hit with the first shots, it can do up to 1,960 if all 3 coins connect. If I don't have that famous big coin, you'll see I only do 560. So honestly, it's still a good buff. 300 more damage just on one coin, that's pretty strong. Luca Profitable can now be used every 15 seconds to recover up to 2% of missing HP. Previously, Keep the Change was better, but Luca Profitable is becoming more appealing. You recover 5% of missing HP when the cards return. To test, watch as my HP recharges periodically. Here you see 4,859. Sometimes my HP quietly recharges, thanks especially to star power. If I throw my cards and they come back, I recover some and go back up to 4,900. I agree, it's not much, just a little extra. Maybe we could expect more. With the Hypercharge, you can see the stats, and honestly, I think it's the most overpowered one. Simply because if you activate the Hypercharge, there you go. It pierces through everything. That means I kill everyone instantly. And it's pretty impressive, honestly. It's kind of like the super. The super pierces. Well, here it's the same thing, just with the attack. It's extremely strong, especially in Heist. This brawler can be really, really strong. Yeah, let's move on to Edgar. There's a lot to discuss, especially this new gadget that's been completely reworked. Also in the training area, when I click on it, you can see the loading screen, etc. It now loads instantly with no counter. Not sure if this will happen on our Brawl Stars, but that's how it is on the developer account. It's a good change since we no longer have to wait for the countdown. You're in right away. It's good, honestly. Well, the gadget has completely changed. Originally, it made your supercharge faster. It's not so bad. Actually, it's even better to have this. Well, I think it's even more overpowered. If I cling to a wall like this, if I hold on, boom, I jump near the wall. Because there, I was really right at the edge of it. If we let it charge and I time it right, I can go over the wall. If I take the wall properly, you can see I'm holding on. But here it's borderline. Here, I'm definitely holding on well. Boom! I go over the wall and can chain the brawler behind it. With the Buffies and this gadget, I'll get a speed boost right after using it. So I latch onto a brawler to take him out, and you can see my little speed boost. I move faster for a short while. It's not that bad. Why did I deal damage to this brawler just now? The answer is pretty simple. I have hard landing. That means if I use a super like this, it'll deal damage, but it also works with the gadget. And here, it's an excellent combo because you can see, I latch onto the brawler, I deal 1500 damage like that. And then, well, you just have to chain him. We've got a perfect combo. Once Edgar is airborne, either with his gadget or super and hard landing, the first star power kicks in. That's why we're talking about both at the same time. As soon as Edgar is in the air, he'll deal damage no matter how, and that's really cool. That's why this gadget deals 1490 damage. The damage doesn't change, it's fixed damage. It's not based on the opponent's HP or anything like that, and with the super, it deals 2980. Plus, if you hit a brawler directly with the gadget or super, your super charges by 25%. It's a hit. You can now charge Edgar more easily and spam him. Let's test the other gadget and star power. The other gadget is unchanged. You still get the well-known 3700 shield, which isn't bad. With the buff, you get a shield that blocks crowd control. For example, if you use Colette's gadget, Edgar can't be controlled if he activates it in time. You need to be quick, just like with Frank's super. That's very overpowered. This gadget shouldn't be underestimated. It's a good gadget. The first one is better, but depending on the comp and your knowledge of it, this one can also be very strong. For the other gadget, if I take damage, it heals me. For example, here I deal 1080 per hit, and when I land a hit, it heals me for 491. Normally, it's supposed to heal for 30%. Here, considering the damage, 1080, 491 isn't 30%, so I feel like it's a bit bugged. This should usually be different, or so I hope, but it seems to heal more than usual, like 1080 from one attack, 491 isn't 30%, but it should be. With the buff, if I eliminate, for example, a brawler, so here, you can see that it heals me normally, so I take 491. If I eliminate the brawler, it will heal me. However, it would heal me a bit more. It won't heal me here since it's a robot, not a brawler, but it would restore health equal to 30% of the brawler's max HP. I think so, yes indeed. For the Hypercharge, I have to show you the change in range. You can see there, it's extremely large. I think you can see Edgar's normal range usually, and the extra range added by the Hypercharge. There you go, it's not that bad. The damage isn't high, just 567, so you'll need to spam to defeat a brawler. Still, it's something. At least maybe you can chain several brawlers at once if they're a bit stacked. While I'm at it, let's talk about skins. So, let's go to the catalog. That way we can check out the skin collection, and especially their prices. Of course, like I told you, I'll try out the skins. We'll make a tier list, at least you'll see all the effects. Let's start with the Adidas collection. And yes, it's really a collaboration. You can see Lou Super Striker and Legendary. Meeple will be mythic. At the same time, you can quickly see the skins. So the collaboration is obvious. I was going to say clear, but honestly, it's all in the details. Here, you can see the 3 stripes on Meeple's shoulder. Same with the sleeves, you see the 3 stripes. Honestly, the skins are really stylish. Otis, same thing. There are the 3 stripes like that. He looks like this. He'll be mythic. And Surge, he'll be mythic too. The high prices, it's a collaboration. It's a special event. It's also for the World Cup. So you can think what you want about it. Honestly, it's cool, but it's true that it's a bit expensive. On the other hand, it's really, really stylish to have an Adidas collab. It's really the kind of collab you could never have expected. My Hero Academia. So, you guessed it, with the Brawl Talk video, I focused right away on My Hero Academia. I make a lot more videos, and since I spend all my time, you can see by the number of videos I put out, I watch very few anime because I don't have the time. It's not that I wouldn't like to, but I just don't have the time. And that's why I know a few characters, but I don't really know their stories either. So, sorry to those who are fans of the anime or the manga. Actually, I don't know enough, but at the same time, you can see all of this. So we have an El Costo who will be legendary. He looks really cool, but of course, he's a bit expensive. Bakugo, I understood that you became nice later on. You're mythic. At the same time, you can see his animation. Same, the skin is incredible, honestly. Dekufang, he's only epic. Honestly, for the main hero of the series, or at least one of the heroes, so epic is fine. It's not that expensive, I want to say. For me, I thought, you know, maybe he could transform, maybe a Hypercharge or something. Janet will also be epic. She looks like this. Same, the animation is pretty nice. And we'll have, so, the main villain, if I understood correctly, Tomura Shigaraki, who is Gus, simply, and who will be mythic. Honestly, it's really cool with all those little hands everywhere. It fits Gus so well, I think. You can see all the icons and so on. We'll discuss all that later. I'll show you everything in detail for the video so you have a preview and I won't miss anything. We'll have Brawl Strikers. Remember, Adidas is a collaboration, so these are collab skins. That means these are skins that will be exclusive for a certain period of time. However, the other skins are not. They're just regular skins, so there's no collaboration there. They won't be exclusive. So we have Carl, who will be the Brawl Pass skin. I'm not going to show you all the chromas, etc. But at least you get a quick look at the Brawl Pass skins, and we'll take a little tour of them. So these are the 2 Brawl Pass skins. This is what they look like. And just like that, we have the little collection. It's a new collection that's opening up, Brawl Strikers. And honestly, it's nice to see them here. So we have another collection called Magical Star. This one will be in May. And actually, this one will be in June. We have Magical Star Spike. Honestly, he's pretty funny. Same, it's epic. So with his 2 chromas, we have Colette. Same. A Brawl Pass skin that will also be epic, Void Amber. So, we don't really know exactly why it transforms like that, but the animation is extremely beautiful, and the skin is legendary. There you go, we don't know exactly why, if it's a chroma, or if there's something special about it. That's it, it just transforms, I can't tell you. Will there be an event? Will there be something like that? I don't know, most likely anyway. Magical Star B, which will only be epic. Honestly, I think animations like this are really cool. It reminds me a bit, maybe it comes from a series or something, I don't have that information. But for me, it reminds me of the Winx back in the day. It looked a bit like that. We have Glacial Colette. Well, that's still the Brawl Pass. Finks, Master of the Void, which will be mythic. There are still a few epics, actually. That's cool. But you can see that the prices seem to have gone up. There are no more super rare skins, rare ones and all that. It's like Brawlers, that's been completely forgotten. That kind of rarity doesn't exist anymore. Now it's really just mythic or at most epic, otherwise legendary. Well, I want to say, yes, we have Brawlers that are free, but obviously if they raise the price, it'll always cause the same problem. Juju's plushie, I think it's incredible. Same thing, this skin will be mythic, and at least you've seen everything. As for the Brawl Pass, while we're on it, same thing. We'll do an opening before the season starts. That way we'll try out the skins as well. We'll see if anything has changed, etc. Anyway, don't worry about that. There will definitely be something about it, but at least you can quickly see it'll be Magical Star. That's the next season that should be coming to BS anyway. At the same time, there will also be new gold and silver skins. These are the very latest ones. So Nagia will be released. Of course, serious, we also have an esports skin. I almost forgot. It's Jackie. She'll be epic. Will we be able to get it for free or not thanks to the predictions? I can't tell you because unfortunately, I don't know. Just so you know, it's an epic skin that will look like this. Honestly, the skin is pretty cool. I like it with the trophy, and normally, I think I haven't forgotten anything. I'm checking at the same time. There you go. I haven't forgotten anything normally. Focus on mythic and legendary skins, which have also gotten some rework. These skins now include extra effects. Let's look at Bakugo Edgar, who features a unique brawler model. This is the basic skin with added special effects, similar to those found on epic skins. On the other hand, you can see there's a special voice on the skin. For a mythic skin, there wasn't one before. There's a special texture. There are custom eliminations. There's an emote, player icon, and tag. Same thing back then, we started getting more and more of these. But originally, not all mythic skins had these features. They were added gradually over time. So mythic skins have a lot more things now than they did before. Maybe that's why they made mythic skins rarer and harder to get and increased the rarity of legendary ones too. There will be custom eliminations. Let's use a new brawler as an example. There are also custom spawn effects. Anyway, there will be other things, but you can also see special voice lines, and normally the skin has just a little bit more features. The mythic ones are getting closer to legendary, while epic ones have fewer features compared to mythic and legendary. Let's briefly discuss balancing. I'm not going to explain it to you in detail because I think we'll make a video just for that. I'm not going to show you the big changes, but at least you'll understand who's getting buffed, who's getting nerfed, and so on. It'll be a bit quicker for you, but we'll do it fast anyway. Lumi's projectile speed increases from 3,200 to 3,500. The details aren't important. It's just a slight improvement. Same thing, Lumi's base health is higher. Normally it was 3,100 at power 1. That means 6,200 at power 11. Now it goes up to 7,000. So that's a pretty big buff. For Lola, there's no huge change. It's just a tiny nerf. Actually, it's just that Ego, when she's near Lola, will have a slight damage reduction. Previously, Ego had 50% damage reduction. Now it's 33%. It'll be slightly less effective, but it's only a minor nerf. Fang, well, I think it's also because of his new skin. That's why he actually got a buff. Fang's base health is 4,500, so 9,000 at power 11. Now it goes up to 9,600, so a nice little buff. Surge will speed up his charge rate a bit more to reach the next stage. That means he'll recharge slightly faster to get to power 2, power 3, power 4, and so on. So, same thing, a small buff as well. Honestly, he might not be that bad, but there's this star power. So, mathematical precision, it used to deal 20% of the damage. Now it's 25%. Same thing, a small buff. For Draco, it mainly happens when he uses his ultimate. You can see damage reduction, and his movement speed has been increased, and that means Draco will be better when he's on his little dinosaur. His movement speed and damage reduction increased from 15 to 20%. Jae-Young is still forgotten and has no skin. At least he's getting balance changes now, especially with this gadget that went unused. Its cooldown dropped from 15 to 12 seconds. Daryl was also overlooked but is getting a buff, mainly to his ultimate, which now does 650 damage instead of 400. So, once again, it depends on what power level you're at, but in any case, it hasn't been doubled. Still, it's gotten a pretty good buff. Gigi was clearly not very strong in this meta, maybe even one of the worst brawlers, that's why she's getting a slight nerf. She will get a 35% movement speed bonus, especially, you know, when she attacks. As soon as she attacks, she moves faster. Now she'll move even a bit faster, and her attack can last a bit longer because she'll have more ammo. Even though it's a bar, it's called ammo. It'll last a bit longer. Before she had 8, now it's 10. That's just a detail. Basically, she'll move faster and have a bit more attack. This will allow you, in particular, to use it to really dodge. So you use your attack to dodge certain things, and that way you can charge your super. Glowy, it makes me laugh because he actually had a nerf regarding his range. His range has just been increased again. Back then, he had really good distance, then it was reduced. It's been slightly increased again, not as much as before. Previously, it was 20, now it's 22, so just a small change. He hits a bit farther. Leon is getting a nerf. I don't know if you know. Previously, you could stack Lollipop Drop with that, combining the gadget and star power for excessive speed. Now they don't stack and are independent. If you put both in the same place, the speed will be capped, so it'll be the same speed either way. I think you get it. His health has also been reduced. Originally, he had 7,200 health points at power 11. Now it's down to 6,600. So yeah, that's a pretty good nerf for Leon. But be careful, since he has buffs, he'll still be strong. Ziggy, there are quite a few things to know. You know, when he uses his attack, there's a little delay. That delay is going to be increased very slightly. It goes from 700 to 750. So the delay is longer, but it's very slight. Same thing, to charge his super, it'll take a bit more time. You might have to attack a bit more, but again, it's very slight. And on the other hand, we have that famous gadget, Electric Beating. Originally, the delay was 13 seconds, so you could spam it pretty often. Now it's up to 17 seconds. For Grom, I didn't really understand why he got so many nerfs. But first, for his attack, originally he did 2,280 damage. Now it's down to 2,060. So here, we're really talking about power 11 again. So yeah, that's a nerf to his attack. And he also has that famous star power X factor. Normally, you had extra damage that was 30%. Now it's up to 35%. It looks like they kind of shifted some of the attack damage and put it into the ultimate. For those who use this star power, remember, it's the best one. Mortis's star power, Coiled Snake, originally, you took 40% of the damage. Now it's 35%. A very slight nerf once again. That's not what's going to change the meta. For Pierce, the damage from his ultimate, normally it's 3,200 damage. Now it's been drastically reduced because it's gone down to 2,800. So in this case, it's a really big nerf. At power 1, it's from 1,600 to 1,400. I always say power 1 because they send them to us there, so I convert them every time. But at least you can get a sense of the change. It's huge. Same thing for the star power. Normally, Pierce's last ammo reduces by 30%. Now it's going to reduce by 25%. It's reduced a bit. That's not what's going to change things. It's mainly his ultimate that got extremely nerfed. Clancy, his attack range has also been slightly reduced. Now, he'll attack from a shorter distance. Originally, it was 25. Now it's down to 23. It gives you an idea, even if you're unfamiliar with it, showing the percentage it's reduced. For Billy, it's the star power that was changed, not her attacks. The Bat's bonus damage drops from 20 to 15%, so this star power now does slightly less damage. This one's more annoying since we use it often. The vitamin pack now heals 50% instead of 60. Honestly, it's not too bad. Brawlers with buffs were very strong. At least they're old. It's slowly decreasing. Maybe you expected it, but Nagia finally got nerfed. With Nagia, if the brawler is visible, she targets them right away. That's really useful since you can auto-shoot and be fine. But if the brawler is in the bushes, they're visible due to poison and won't get hit by the second shot. The first shot auto-targets them, but the second doesn't. You'll need to aim manually. Otherwise, it's like the brawler is still in the bush and not visible. Otherwise, it would be way too overpowered. That's why Nagia's second shot won't automatically target enemy brawlers. Be careful, we're talking about enemy brawlers hiding in bushes. If they're visible, you can auto-shoot and it'll work fine. As for her ultimate, you know, the base HP of the snakes is normally 3,200. That's huge. Now, it's going to be reduced a lot down to 2,400. They'll have much less health. Those famous snakes that we can see, they're horrible. And now, I'll tell you exactly so I don't make a mistake. The snakes, whether it's from the star power or even in the attack when you summon them or whatever, they won't explode anymore when they're defeated. They only explode if they come into contact with the brawler. Back then, if you killed the snake, it would explode, so you could still get poisoned. Now, that's no longer the case. It only explodes if it comes into contact with you. So, you can only get poisoned in that way. Honestly, Nagia got some really good nerfs. Now, I don't think it's enough, but it's already not that bad. We have another small change that could be quite interesting. You can see in Showdown, normally, you know, there's smoke surrounding the brawlers, etc. I think you know about that. Previously, people would hide in the smoke to avoid fights and let others battle in the center, but that strategy is no longer possible. They had increased smoke damage with Miko and similar strategies. Back when they went up in the air, the smoke didn't hit them. Now, new strategies involve avoiding fights by hiding in the smoke, but that's no longer possible. The deeper you go into the smoke, especially in a map's corner, the more damage you'll take compared to moving through the center. On the smoke's edges, you'll still take some damage as before. The deeper you go into the smoke, the more damage you'll take, which I didn't think was too bad since it stops certain strategies. We'll also have Crow and Finks bosses, but I don't have them with me now as I'm checking fights with Miko. I don't have them, so I can't show you. We saw them briefly in Brawl Talk. They're bosses, which might not interest you much. Same with the events. I don't have them since they're events. It'll be linked to Adidas. You know, the mode I showed you with the goalie in Brawl Ball, that'll be a temporary event. It'll be called Super Bowl, and it'll take place in a new stadium called the Adidas Arena. There will be a community event related to that. I don't know much else, but I'm sharing what I've seen. I'll also show you the updated friends tab. This is how it looks now. I don't have any friends since this is a developer account. You can now quickly see the environment. It's much more stylish and improved. It seems clearer too. Since this is a developer account, I can't see the buttons, but things have definitely changed. I look forward to seeing it in the real game. I got the famous Super Bowl mode working so we can play and test it out. You'll get an idea of how it looks and works. I'm excited to play since the game mode looks cool. We'll test charging shots, shooting to check the goalie's reactions, and more. I chose Billy to better handle damage. We're going to... Oh wait, can he shoot? We just got scored on right away, man. Is it 2 goals or not? We got scored on immediately. This is crazy. I don't want to lose here. Let's try it this way. Here, I'm charging my shot. Is it working? Finally. Now it's on fire, so that's probably the max. The goalie isn't very responsive. That means if I do something like this, oh, I score. Okay, the goalie is really just a bad random, but it means if you take a pretty bad shot, normally he's supposed to stop it. Let's try some bad shots, just to see. Let's put it in. There we go. Wait, can he take a bad shot? Yeah, perfect. He stopped it. Nice. It's a funny game mode. Let's not charge the shot and just pass to ourselves like this. If I try that, yeah, he stopped it well. We're just passing. He doesn't catch the ball, just pushes it. So sometimes it comes back to you. That's strong. There we go. Once the shot is charged, you can see our goalie took damage. That's interesting. Wait, let's stop him. Can I try to disable the goalie by hitting him directly with the ball and taking him out? Let's do that. You can see he took some damage there. Let's try to take him out. Can I manage to take him out or not? At least we'll see how long it takes for him to reactivate. I'll never have enough time, unfortunately. He stays immobilized for a long time. I don't know if you saw. He stays immobilized for a really long time. Normally, he should be deactivated now. Let's try to shoot. No, he wasn't deactivated at all. What if I do it like this? That works. At least we took a quick look. We played a little bit. Honestly, it's pretty cool. Also, as you can see, you can report as well. But here, these are bots. But you can report people on Brawl Stars. I don't have the button here, but it'll work exactly like in Ranked. Now, you'll have a kind of reputation for trophy matches. So, I'm going to open this. There you go. The reputation will stay the same as here, but only for the ladder. If a player gets too many reports for toxic behavior or cheating, they'll get a temporary suspension in ladder mode, and you'll only be able to play solo showdown. Just that for a little while. It's not a permanent ban. Be careful with random reports. So, if there's a guy just like that, he's raging and reporting everyone, it won't have any effect. You really need to get a lot of reports before anything happens. First, of course, you'll get a warning. You're not just banned out of nowhere like that. You'll get a warning. Watch yourself. Keep messing around and you'll get banned. If you keep it up, suspensions get longer each time. You can only play solo showdown or map maker maps. Yeah, it's not great. Like I said, there will also be a kind of reputation system for the ladder. If you don't do anything wrong and you play well, properly, and so on, if you avoid problems and negative behavior, your reputation will improve over time. Also, the Shiba Inu skin has changed, which is important to mention. We'll check it out now on Nita. And you can see that the Shiba skin, just like that, will have extra visual effects. Basically, the skin itself doesn't change, just the effects do. And honestly, the skin is really nice. I don't know if you can see it a bit. Also, look at the bear when it attacks. There are just a few small details like that. I wanted to point them out and show you everything. Now you know, you can get this skin during Golden Week. That was our famous feature, which I no longer have. It said Golden Week at first, but after unlocking everything, it disappeared. At least you saw it. Just another small detail. You can see we have the Prestige 200 and Prestige 100 that have been added. Before, it stopped at 50. So it's pretty interesting because his thing has changed. You can see now there's his basic attack, so when he deals real damage. And you can also see how far his shoe goes. Now you can quickly see the effect. I'm giving you a quick spoiler. It gives you a taste of what's coming. And there you go. His attack like that has changed. And I find that really useful. It might be a bit easier for people to actually hit. It's a pretty cool thing. I don't know if it'll help you or not, but there you go. It's a little extra thing. I'm switching to full cam now, so we'll quickly talk about Brazil. And you know, those who really follow me, I talked about Brazil, what happened, etc. I'll read you exactly the response from Brawl Stars. That way, you're informed. They say, in order to comply with regional regulations, several changes have been made for players who are in Brazil. First of all, the final rewards of the Brawl Pass, meaning that famous random thing, they tell us, it is no longer included in the paid add-on purchase option. So I think this is outside of Brawl Talk, etc. The bundles in Oddity Shop, so in the Oddity Shop, there won't be any random rewards, there won't be any gacha, and the skins of random rarity will be directly included in the offer. So you won't have any surprises anymore. That's something really cool that they're going to have, especially in the Buffies catcher. Actually, you know what you're going to get? It won't be random anymore. They tell you directly which Buffies you'll get next, as for extra box sales and offers. That won't exist anymore. No more brawler boxes or similar things. You won't be able to buy them anymore anyway, so at least now you know a bit about what's being said regarding Brazil. There are still a few changes. Honestly, these are things we could have predicted. Then, there are a lot of bug fixes. I'm reading it now, but fixes for duo and trio matches where there was a delay. Same thing for Android devices, there were quite a few bugs that's been fixed. Anyway, there are a lot of fixes, so all the bugs you can imagine. Here, I see things with Jean, Gray. Anyway, there are a lot of things. I can't show you, unfortunately. But all of that has been fixed. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was thorough. I did the best I could. Unfortunately, not everything is available yet either. Don't worry, there will be other videos that will explain even more, but at least you have a preview of what Brawl Stars will look like. Of course, we'll talk about it again, don't worry. I'll try out the brawlers for you in the next few days. Thank you for watching this video. I'll just say see you next time. As usual, code Periado, and bye, see you soon.